Hello, this is Paul Cowell. This is National Marriage Week. Valentine's Day is Sunday, and the inn is going to be full of special music and good meals and couples holding hands and fireplaces and all of that good stuff. We hope you have a great marriage. I've been thinking about what to share this week, and I thought in 54 years of marriage, a Tennessee farm boy marrying a girl from Brooklyn, New York, I've learned some things, and we did have counseling. Worked out great, and it's getting better all the time. And then I did a lot of counseling as a pastor. I've got to listen to a lot of stories from people who were needing some guidance in their marriage. And I've read a few books. So I thought I would share real quickly 10 things that I think make a difference. These may not be the most important 10 things, but they're things that I've learned through the years. Number one is don't jump to conclusions until you know what's going on. Don't accuse anybody, because once you pass judgment, all communication stops when there's criticism. If I come home late and Jean fusses about that, then I tend to explain to her why I was rescuing children from burning wreckage on the interstate. That's why I'm late. If she jumps to a conclusion that I just wasn't paying attention, I may have had a crisis and couldn't come home. But whatever it is, just ask questions for information without judgment before you accuse the other person of something that you may not understand what's been going on with them. Sometimes I could come home and there would have been a crisis at home, but she starts talking about something else, and you have to delve slowly and softly to get to the bottom of that. So don't jump to conclusions. Number two, forgive quickly. Make enough deposits in people's life. I remember in one, I started to say heated discussion, but it wasn't an argument necessarily, but we were disagreeing about something one day, and I was wrong. And Jean said, "What do you want from me?" And I said, "Well, I think I want the right to be wrong. If I've done the right thing for a number of times, then if I'm late, if I didn't pay attention about something, I'd like the right to be wrong." So forgive each other quickly. In any marriage, there's going to have to be a lot of forgiveness, or it's just not going to work. You've got to forgive one another quickly, because you're both going to need it. When he or she is wrong, treat them like you want to be treated when you're wrong, because you'll forget an anniversary or you'll forget a birthday. Forgive quickly. The third thing I thought was really important: celebrate every time you can. Have fun together. Look for ways to celebrate life. Do things that produce some enjoyment in the relationship. And when there's a little victory along the way, then celebrate it. Look for the positives. You can focus on negatives. Sometimes you'll be around people that anything positive you say, they'll tell you something negative. That's an offsetting factor, yes, but celebrate the good things of life. A fourth point I would make is have realistic expectations. I was counseling with a couple not long ago. They were both 20 years old, getting ready to get married, and I said, now the vows are to be in place even when it's not natural to keep them, because each of you is going to roll over some morning, look at the other one and think, my God, what have I done? And he reached out and took her hand and said, "Sir, we're different. We won't be that way." And I thought, and I'm wasting my time. So I said, well, let's pray and we'll just have a great wedding, and maybe in 5 years they'll come back. But their expectations were that they would not have a problem, that there would be no lessening of all of the intensity that they felt prior to the wedding. Have realistic expectations, but don't settle for mediocrity. Keep your expectations pretty high. Number 5, make decisions ahead of time when you can. Decide how you're going to raise kids, how you're going to spend money, where you're going to go for Thanksgiving, and don't wait until the crisis is upon you by just putting those things off. You may well think something will work out. Talk about it ahead of time and make decisions. Number 6 is have a life outside the two of you. I think Satan tells 2 lies. One is, before you're married, he says, marriage is just ink on paper. It means nothing. Once you get married, he says marriage is everything, and you don't need anybody else. You need other friends. You need other hobbies. You need a life apart from the marriage, family and friends that you come together then and talk about what you've done for the day, and the two of you have a better relationship than you would have if it was just the two of you. Number 7 is your self-concepts. Act in a way that you like who you are. Husbands, love your wives as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. You don't like anybody today better than you like you. And if your self-concepts are bad, then you don't like your spouse either as well. And so have good self-concepts. The other person can't make you happy. Be aware of that. You might enjoy reading a little book, The How of Happiness, by an author that I can't pronounce her last name. But don't require the other person to make you happy, and have self-concepts as a result of doing the right things. Number 8 is occasionally leave the comfort zone for adventure, for excitement. Go to a new restaurant, try a new hobby, go to a new place on vacation. Add some adventure to your life. Have projects that you do together. You can start out a marriage face to face, but it needs to move side by side at some point where you're facing life together and you're doing things that you enjoy equally. Agree on a project and go on a short-term mission trip or build a Habitat for Humanity, whatever it might be, but add some adventure. Number 9 is really easy, and I can do it quickly. Listen. Pay attention. Most of us in conversation are not listening very intently. We're just waiting to talk. And in a marriage, when you're talking to your spouse, pay attention. And as somebody said, that the spouse never revealed any of their secrets because they weren't listening when they told them anyway. But pay attention to your spouse. It's an incredibly important thing. And the last thing is speak softly. I was at a meeting recently, and a young lady that I had officiated at her wedding some years before came to me and said, you know, I'm divorced now. And I said, I'd heard that. And she said, I shouldn't be. But one night, in anger, I destroyed our marriage. I said things that I could never take back without him knowing that that's how I really felt at that moment. I said things that weren't true. I overstated my case, and he never got over it. And she said, the way I look back on my life now is in that one evening, I destroyed my relationship with my husband and with the father of our child. Speak softly. You know, if you say 100 times I love you and one time I hate you, our psyches are set up where you remember and believe the worst. So don't say things that you're not going to mean. Think before you talk, and speak gently to one another. And at times, if anger and hostility come up, it's better off to just put it off for a little while and say, let's find a time when we can talk rationally about that. Those 10 things might help you in life. I hope that's of value to you. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day. We're planning a lot of good things here at Whitestone, and we hope to see you soon.